Hey traders, John Howell here. Today, I have something really interesting to share with you. I've been looking at the markets and maybe, just maybe, we're at the start of one really big shift in the market, and let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so I have been doing my analysis today. The markets have just closed. So I've finished all my trading and I've just spent probably a good 20 minutes or half an hour just looking at the big picture, looking at, so looking at the Russell right now. And what I started to do is I started to look at the weekly charts. So, okay, so because the weekly charts, the big long-term time frames, they start to give us a much bigger view of what's going on in the markets. And, and traders, before I forget, first link in the description, guys, or the link in the description, I'm giving you a free trading course. It's actually like 5 phases long, walks you through the biggest, like the foundations, the biggest mistake you're making right now, chart reading, advanced chart reading, my trading systems and stuff like that as well too. So if you need some help, guys, go get access to that free trading course. I used to charge for it for like $500, but now I'm giving it away for free. So and what I started to do is I started to go through the longer term charts, okay? Because a chart is a chart, okay? And one thing I've learned over my years is just how fascinating it is to see longer term lines come into play, okay? Now, at the start of this video, I talked about a major shift that could be taking place. We could be overall forming a massive bottom here. Overall, what I just said, okay? Not today, all right, you little bumblebees, okay? I know some, John said it's going to bottom today, it's going to rally tomorrow. No, right? These things take time. We could get more of a pullback for another few weeks or more, and then we start to see another leg to the upside. Maybe that's going to happen. Maybe it won't, right? But I'm just giving you some observations of what I'm watching for. But again, the ultimate thing we need to watch for is to watch for the market, okay? So I've been watching these monthly charts here. I've been looking at the monthly charts here, and this is the Nasdaq. I've been looking at these monthly charts here on the Nasdaq as well too. And you can see the monthly charts had a very big move up and a very big move down. Again, what I'm doing right now may not mean nothing in a few months' time. We have to keep watching what the market does. But just an observation, okay? So the S&P 500, same thing as well too. We had a big move up, big move down. Or should I say a big move up, and now we're having a bit of a pullback. But I thought, it's really interesting to see what's going on here right now, and what's happening. We've got this bit of a pullback, but yeah, it actually hasn't. In the scheme of things, right? In the big picture of things, this was the COVID move, and this is the only thing that's happened on the S&P 500, right? So from that there to that there was the move, and then from this here to this here, that's all we've done recently. So in the big scheme of things, the market is actually not down that much. Isn't it fascinating that we're like, oh, the market's down 20%, it's gonna crash. Where like 2 years ago, it was just here. So the really interesting thing that I'm noticing here is we're actually making very strong higher lows. So we could be getting another higher low here soon on the monthly charts. Monthly charts, right? That takes months to what? To form. Okay, cool. So we're seeing that. And again, guys, I don't know how it was. John, how's that going to be possible? Jerome Powell came out and said he's going to crash the market. You're an idiot, John. Okay, this is just an observation, okay? Observation, big picture, monthly charts. It takes months for it to form, okay? Little bumblebees in the chat box, but observation to keep an eye out, okay? And I'll tell you what I'm watching for to see whether this is going to come true or not. And I don't really give a rat's rear end or a flying what Jay Powell says, okay? The most important thing to me is what the market. Why? Because I trade the market. I don't trade Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell could come out and say, we're going to crush the market. And then something a month later, they come out and say, oh, maybe we were wrong. And they come out and they do something different, right? So you can't trade based off that. How can you, let me ask you a question. For you to make money long-term out of the markets, right? You need to have confidence in what you're doing, right? So you need to have confidence in the way you trade. Cool. So for you to do that, how can you trade based off what Jerome Powell says? For the rest of your life, not just now. for the rest of your life and have confidence you're going to make money. You can't, can you? So that's the reason why, like for me, again, guys, go to johnsfreetraining.com or there should be a link in the description. I'm giving away my trading course for free, or I'm teaching you it for free. Again, very first thing in the description, you'll be able to see that. And so therefore, for me personally, be able to make money consistently long-term out of the markets, not just 1 year, but year after year after year after year. The big key has been having a reliable pattern that I look for, right? So I don't go to the market looking for a trade. I say, okay, this is what I'm looking for. Then I go to the market looking for my pattern, looking for my setup. So we can see that through there, and we can see that the Dow Jones as well too, right? So we're seeing there's a lot of things through here. So here's the thing. Now I'm past the 5-minute mark, and most people have gotten bored so far and they're gone. So for you guys that have stayed, for you guys that are still here on my videos, now I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes of it, okay? So, because you guys are my 20%ers, so because most people leave after 5 minutes, so that's the reason why I just delayed it just a little bit longer, because those bumblebees, they're gone now because they can't hang on for you guys. Now, let's look at the Russell here. This is a monthly chart, okay? I'm going to bring on some long-term trend lines, and have a look at this beauty beast. Have a look at this sexy beast. Oh, isn't that an OG term? Sexy beast. For you guys that are OG, right? For you guys have been around for a while, sexy beast. This is the monthly charts here. And look at this. So obviously we started there. Then we've got this is the monthly chart, remember? All right, I'm just reminding you guys, okay? The reason I'm saying that so many times is some people are going to say, John, that's not going to happen tomorrow. Of course it's not going to happen tomorrow, right? It's a monthly chart. It's a monthly chart. How many days in a month? Roughly 30. John, no, there's not. There's 28 in February. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, you get what I'm trying to say here, okay? It takes time for this thing to unfold. So there was a significant bounce. We had a very big flush down through there. But look where it bounced recently. Right back on the exact same angle. Right back on the exact same angle. Isn't that fascinating? And now we're getting what? Now on the Russell, we're getting a strong bounce. And we also have two major levels of resistance. Interesting. So here's the thing. I'm seeing where we are right now on the monthly chart. There's major support levels. Now, what's going to tell us we're probably going to bounce through here and start a new upward trend? It's going to be trend analysis, okay? So as the market's been coming down, if the market comes down and comes back up and then comes back down, and we start to form, we go lower high, lower high, lower high. Then we start to make a high, higher low, and break. What's happening right here? Who's coming in control? Buyers, right? New upward trend has started. Okay? So the reason why I mention that is because now, think about this. Long-term major support, monthly charts. Let's go to the weekly charts here for a minute. Look what's happening on the weekly charts. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but there's a few things that are happening on these weekly charts here. All right? Down, up, down, up, down. If indeed, I'm not saying it's going to, okay, but it's an observation that I'm watching for, because we want to be looking for the clues that we are starting at the bottom, regardless of what we think or hope or fear, or that can never happen, John, or you're wrong. And okay, I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, but we need to watch out for it. Okay, what happens? Now, this is the weekly chart now. What happens if the market comes down through here and starts to create some sort of a higher low, and for some reason the market starts to pick back up and we start to do this? What does that mean? Right? Ooh, now guess what? And now we do that. Now we're at this major level of two levels of support. Remember, this blue line here and that black line there was from that monthly chart, remember? It's also back from here as well too. Okay? And now we create a higher low. Now guess what? What is an upward trend? Higher lows breaking past previous highs. Now the buyers are back in control. We're now buyers back in control simply means upward trend. Go up, go down, go up. This is buyers in control, right? We're stepping up. Just because the market pulls back, a pullback is against the trend, right? That's why it's called a pullback. It's called a pullback because it's against the move. We have a strong move up, we have a nice pullback against the trend, strong move up, and so on and so forth. So what happens if we start to get that? Ooh. Now we're probably going to start to see, and again, guys, I know this makes no sense at all, but I'm just going off based off what I'm looking at here, the long-term markets here. So let's go have a look at the other markets. Let's go back to the monthly charts. Let's go have a look at the Nasdaq. Look at the Nasdaq. Look what I found on the Nasdaq. Interesting stuff. So for starters, what I did is I just connected these bottoms through here, right? So look at that. This is back in 2016, then 2019, and then the COVID crashed right there. That's where it found support. Woo! Look at that sexy beast. Then all I did is create a parallel trend line. See that there? It's just the exact same angle, and then all I did was just connect the recent highs of where we've been recently, right? So or in the past, in the recent past. And that's when I found, look at this here, resistance. It's the exact same angle. But you know what's even more sexier? You know what makes this even more of a sexier beast, right? Sexy beast. My little bumblebees, look at this. Look where we are right now. Look what happened. It bounced right off that angle. Can you get a sexy beast? Put sexy beast in the chat box if you like that. Now, what does that mean? Well, it could mean maybe in a month or two from now, it's not going to mean anything, and the market could just continue down to 10,000. Maybe. But an observation is that what I'm watching for to say, okay, even though the market's pulling back, and we're probably going to get a bit more pullback in the market, okay? A bit more pullback. Maybe this whole area through here, somewhere through this whole area through here, we're starting to form some form of a bottom. And we're starting to filter through, and we're starting to do something like that. Maybe, just maybe. Now, what am I looking for? Let's go back to the weekly charts. Oh, now, what is happening through here? Down, up, down, up, down. What happens if for some reason we start to do something like that? Oh. Now, guess what? Now something's changing, right? Now we're getting that nice little HL, which is the higher low break there. If we get something like that, traders, guess what? We're after all-time new highs. I know that makes no sense in the market today, but this is me reading the markets. Okay, guys, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying, okay, what could possibly happen? I'm not saying it's going to, because guess what? We could continue. Let me take everything off the screen here. We could continue down from here. Down, and just keep doing that. And what I just said there means absolutely nothing. It's just a thing to keep an eye out for, because if the market does start to turn around big time, because maybe the Fed pivots or something like that, we don't know. We don't know why. We're looking at there. Then we can see that through there. And we start to see this across the board for a few things, right? S&P 500. Look at this here. Same thing for the S&P 500. All I did was I connected the lows through here. And look how sexy that is, right? Long-term sexy beast, right? She's been sexy since 2009. 2009 major low. Then another bounce through 2012, 2013, and then 2013 again. And then we had another significant bounce around 2016. And another significant bounce around 2019. And look where it actually bounced. We actually came down. Again, monthly chart, S&P 500, and then we got the bounce. Ain't she a sexy beast? Now, all I did was create a parallel trend line. And then look what happened. Look at this here. A parallel trend line, so we means it's the exact same angle. And then look what I did. I just connected to the highs. Resistance here. Look at this. Even more of a sexy beast. Yeah, sexy. Look at that there. Right through there. And even look at that. A bounce through there. I know that doesn't look like much, but again, guys, this is a monthly chart. It takes 30 days, 30 days, 30 days. This is 30, 60, 90, 120. That's all that through there is 120 days. So I know that's a long time for some of you guys. You guys can't wait one day. One day. Right? That's the some of the bumblebees in my chat box. That's the noise that I have in my head when some of you guys go Papa. Now look what happened. Where did we bounce? Oh my goodness! Right off that level there. So maybe, just maybe, and I know this sounds crazy. Maybe, just maybe. I know it sounds crazy. Maybe we're starting to form some form of a bottom through here. And we're going to start to filter through here and then maybe start to do something like that again and go for another big leg. Again, traders, I know this sounds absolutely just crazy and absolutely nuts about this thing. Right now, I know that sounds nuts. And right now, that is not the case. Okay, we are bouncing here, yes. But what do we need? Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. We need some sort of a higher low, right? Yes, we could get another move down like this for the rest of this week. But if this is the low, and if this is the higher low, and we start to break, and for some reason we start to go for another rally again, guess what? It doesn't matter what the pundits say, it doesn't matter what anyone says, we are off to the moon. And then we're probably going to go through one big move. I don't know what's going to cause that, okay? I don't know what's going to cause that if that happens. Now, as I said before, right now with everything that's going on, if we do continue to, if the Fed does continue to push really hard on the brakes, we're probably going to continue to down like this, okay? So that's where we need to wait for the market to turn around first. If the market turns around first like this, then we start to look at getting in, or we start to look at, okay, now the overall trend has started to change. So I hope this helps you out today, traders. This is an observation and maybe interesting times coming. Traders, I want to invite you to my webinar that I'm running today. And on this webinar, I'm going to share with you all the details to my #1 trading system for the last 17 years and how I only trade 1 hour per day. Plus, also going to be learning the 3 secrets that I had to master over the last 17 years to generate a really good income. If you go to johnsfreetraining.com, or there should be a link in the description, click on that. Go over there right now, register. If you are struggling with the trading right now, I promise you this is going to completely game change, because you're going to understand why you are going backwards and why you're losing money. And then I'm going to teach you exactly what the system I use that gets me a really high % win-loss ratio. So this is what I want you to do right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go over there, register for my webinar right now today, because you're going to absolutely love it. Or there should be a link in the description. And I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. So go to that right now, and I look forward to seeing you on my next webinar. Go to that right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go to that right now.